Alright. I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast here. I gotta go real fast here. It's Joeing down. It is Joeing down. I gotta get... The risk is still the old one. Oh, thanks, Thriver. Thank you. Perhaps it's not on the screen yet because I'm changing it. Mayhaps. Mayhaps. Alright. I gotta change that up. Everything. Hold on. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Whatever. Oh, I gotta, hold on. Wind, 15, 30 hatched for hail. So sad. I could have just done this before, but I wanted to not. %, hatched. Display capture on. Boom. Boom. That guy's spinning. Yeah, it's gonna go, brother. That's gonna imminently go. I mean, you don't usually shit out at that point. Right by the radar, too, so getting really good look at it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. That's gotta be a tornado on the ground. What? I think that is. No, wow, dude, that is ripping really hard. That is ripping really hard, dude. That is like a strong tornado imminent. That is really... I mean, there's probably a tor on the ground. Yeah, there is. Look at that. There is a... Yeah. I mean, that... Okay. Damn, I'm waiting for velocity to come in. This is nuts. Okay, right now, velocity's coming in. Yeah, holy cow, dude. There we go. Tornado on the ground. Big time tornado on the ground near Alta Vista. Probably a significant tornado ongoing. Or probably. I mean, that is... Whoo! Man. Big time tornado on the ground. Big time tornado on the ground. Hell yeah, dude. I'm happy for all these chasers out here, man. Oh my god, I'm happy. So many of them. Like, I know a couple OU students. that are out there that have never seen their first tornado because they're just not from that area, and they're on this storm, and I feel so fucking happy for them, you know what I mean? That's the shit, man. I feel so happy for all those chasers out there, everybody that I know on Twitter that's out. CC drop? Oh yeah, big time CC drop. Big time tornado on the ground, without a doubt. But I just feel so happy for all those guys, man, because they worked their asses off for this stuff, and there they go, dude. That's a big tornado on the ground, though. But there is a tornado on the ground. Based on... Is it headed near anything significant? I don't think so. We're in the middle of Kansas, luckily, so virtually nothing out here. There's a census designated area near Volland here, but I don't know that the tornado would go. I would probably watch out for Volland, though, because... And these tornadoes are also going to be deviant. They're probably going to be deviant. Oh my good God, look at that. Jesus Christ. Jesus, dude. That is a big boy. I don't want to give on coverage channel because it gets on. Everybody gets on there and over talks. Not right now, at least. Not right now, at least. But that is going nuts, brother. Look at that. Look at that. This is Kansas, man. Probably not including yet. It's deviant. I mean, man, it's going, dude. It's probably gonna wrap up into itself too. I mean, so watch out for Violent. God damn, dude. This should probably go. They should probably update the tags here, but that is a very strong tornado. No, I don't see any pictures on Twitter of it right now. Or yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Oh, there's a big tornado in there. I don't. It doesn't look to be all fully condensed, but there's a huge funnel, beautiful, nice funnel in there. Big cone. Yeah, I saw that. Big cone. No, it's on the ground. It's on the ground. It's not up for. It's not up for like any debate or anything. This thing's on the ground. Likely going to go PDS. I mean, it could. I mean, it looks to be. It looks to be a strong tornado. Looks to be a SIG-Tor. And we're really close to the radar here. We're only looking about 700 feet aloft or so. So it's not even. It's not like we're looking at anything that's substantially above the surface. God, big time tornado. Holy cow, dude! Ryan Scholl has. I just retweeted it. There is a huge cone on the ground. Good Lord. Really, really big cone. I mean, that is a really big tornado. That is a really big tornado. Intense tornado on the ground. Wow. Big time tour. And this thing's going to continue to go. Kansas. Good God. Kansas. Jesus, man. I'm trying to look at Retimmer stream here. New mezzo right here. Look, check this out. We're about to occlude. So this is going to go in, but check this out right here. Just kind of branching off. Here. This could easily go. I see this type of radar signature. What? Okay, violent tornado. Look at that. Incredible debris ball. We have 107 there, 100. We almost have 200 mile an hour gate to gate shear right now. Violent tornado. Without a doubt, there is a violent tornado ongoing. Huge, violent, very violent tornado. Violent tornado on the ground. Second tornado on the ground. Okay, so it is. We're spitting out tornadoes like no other. We have a violent tornado on the ground right now. Violent tornado on the ground. And a rope to the east. Yeah, I mean that is good God, man. Look at that. Violent tornado. Violent tornado, man. Look at that. That is just unbelievable. Put a PDS on that bastard. It's in the middle of nowhere, so I don't know that they will, but I mean they probably should. It's going to cycle up multiple times. It's going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. Okay, so this is the thing. If we're going to keep spitting out tornadoes like this, then we have to be extremely vigilant for the very large and discrete supercell that's just to the east of Kansas City, because that also has the same potential. If this does that anywhere near the Kansas City metro, that is obviously a problem. That is obviously a huge problem, especially if we're spitting out tornadoes that are violent. This is a violent tornado. We're not talking about an EF2. We're not talking about an. I mean, we're not talking. I mean, we are getting there. We're getting there in terms of the tornado strength. We're looking, 700 feet aloft or so. We're not looking at anything very high up, and we have a violent tornado that's currently on the ground. Okay, almost 200 mile an hour gate to gate shear just by looking here, just 700 feet aloft. There is a big, violent tornado on the ground. I mean, you don't see anything as clear cut as this, man. Pretty unbelievable radar signature, though. Look at that, man. No tornado emergencies. There's nothing out here. But you could definitely throw a PDS on this, but at the same time, there, again, is nothing out here. Is there any streamers that have it up, like the tornado? Because I've seen a couple pictures, and it is a big cone. Oh, look at that, man. Man, doesn't look as tight. Circulation doesn't look as tight. God, but I wonder if it's just that big. Wow. Reed stream is unbelievable. Looks to be a very large, uncondensed tornado on the ground. There's a huge, like, horizontal vortex feeding into this thing. Huge horizontal vortex feeding into this thing right now. Not anything on the ground visibly in terms of condensation, but it might have... what the hell? Okay, so I think we have a huge oh my god. I think we have a huge uncondensed tornado right here that's going to spit out, you know, sporadic suction vortices. We're going to have not to say it's the same type of tornado, not to say that this is El Reno, because that's not what I'm saying, but I want to compare this to El Reno in the sense that we could be dealing with a very large uncondensed tornado, and what you're seeing is going to be result. Okay, it's been PDS now. There is now a PDS tornado warning on this violent tornado right now that's heading up to near Volland right now. This thing has deviant motion, so it's going to wrap up into itself, and we're going to have a new tornado that's going to get spit out of this thing. This thing is going to continue to do it. This isn't going to be the only time this thing does it. Very strong tornado ongoing. This is not it. I want to make this very clear that this is not it. This is going to continue to happen. We are going to see, we could probably look aloft here and see new meso. And yeah, it's exactly what we're dealing with. As expected, there's going to be a new meso that's going to come out of this thing. And this thing is huge. This is a very, very big, very, very big, uncondensed, just a very, very large tornado that's currently on the ground. And, man, this thing it's going to continue to spit out these tornadoes. It's an including cyclic beast, man. There's nothing that is going to stop this thing. The environment is really good. It could eventually outrun the warm front, but right now we don't even need to be talking about the warm front at this point. It is south of the warm front, has plenty of time to go. Not to mention we have this supercell in nearly the exact same environment near Kansas City, so that also has to be watched. If anything, if this is the environment that is producing this type of tornado, if you're near Kansas City, that big discrete supercell has the same type of potential. So that has to be watched too, because if that thing does this in the middle of the Kansas City metro, that is obviously a really, really bad situation. But this radar imagery here is, oh my god. Wow. Wow. I mean, I haven't been speechless at radar imagery in a long time like this. This is velocity scan coming in now of this thing. Oh my god. Oh man. See, man, this is... Man, dude. That is a... There's a wedge, okay. I mean, I'm not surprised one bit. I'm not surprised at all. Jesus, this thing is huge. God, this is a huge cone, man. Huge cone. And apparently a wedge now. I mean, this is nuts. Today did have that potential, though. Extremely high streamwise vorticity, and you can see the streamwise vorticity ingestion on Reed stream just earlier. There was a huge horizontal vortex tube that was feeding into the meso. So it is by no means a surprise that this is ongoing. Extremely, extremely streamwise vorticity out here. Just by KTWX here. I mean, very streamwise vorticity. This thing is going nuts. We in VC, I know I don't really want to get into VC because it is so many people get in there and talk over each other. It's kind of My ZDR color table sucks ass. I need a Someone send me a good ZDR color table. I forgot to get a new one since from my last laptop. But this thing is absolutely schnuts, man. Okay, from Sean Paul, who is on the storm right now. Large, intense, multi-vortex tornado on the ground. So, I mean, again, still not really a surprise. Oh my good lord. I'm reposting all this stuff on Twitter. If you want to look on Twitter, I mean, we are dealing with some big time big time tours. Hail on Kansas City, cell going down, mid-level mezzo ramping up. God damn, dude. So Kansas City really has to watch out, man. Kansas City, please, 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 please. All right, we're definitely starting to occlude here. But God, it's just gonna keep spitting out, man. It's gonna keep spitting out tours. But this thing is not playing around. I mean, that was a incredibly intense tornado, and this is not going to stop, man. It was able to become a huge, robust tornado. The storm was able to get really robust, and it obviously put down a huge tornado, and with all that streamwise vorticity that it had access to. Now we got to be watching the Kansas City storm. This one is still problematic. This is going to continue to cause problems. This is not done once this is done. The Kansas City storm should be watched, though, because it is also a very large, well, sort of a cluster of updrafts now that are going to conglomerating, and I can already see some eastward movement now. So we're starting to move a little more east. We may have it. I mean, we got to watch the Kansas City storm. Got to watch the Kansas City storm. Passing really close to Volin, though. Look at that, man. Like a donut hole. Little kind of donut hole in there. I mean, but this radar imagery was unbelievable. Yeah, we did mention the PDS. We did mention the PDS. But that is pretty insane in terms of the radar here. We got to watch all these others, all these other ones too, because I mean there is a I mean, again, violent tornado. But Kansas City, man, I'd really be watching Kansas City. Gotta be watching Kansas City like a hawk, man. Because again, the problematic. Once your storms start doing this, it's really problematic, and you need to, man. Man, what a tornado. What a tornado. Pretty unbelievable tornado. And that is incredibly... Is it going to hit Volland? I mean, it could have clued into Volland. I mean, it's possible. I would really hope not. Oh man, it's going real close there. I mean, it's real close to Volland. But I mean, this is Kansas City. This is Kansas City. This is Kansas, man. They know what they're doing. And again, Volland is very small. It's just a census designated area, meaning it's not like a huge population center. Not that it matters at all. These are still people here, but that, you know, there's a lot less to hit when it's less populated. When it's not that densely populated, there's a lot less to hit. But it looks to be just the mezzo is on the ground. There's a giant circulation in here, man. I mean, really, it needs to be watched so hard. I think it's beginning to cycle, yeah. It's going to cycle up. Big time tornado, though, man. Didn't exactly expect this today. The environment, I mean, definitely was really impressive. Um, but man, that is woo. I don't really even want to look at the. I'll look at the Kansas City Storm on my phone. Um, I mean, for right now at least, I mean, it could rapidly organize because it looks like it keeps undergoing mergers, and just the mass flux is nuts. This thing is huge. You know what I mean? This is a giant storm. But, I mean, you are right. It's like, can it, I mean, but it's very slowly meandering. I mean, I really hope that that thing doesn't, I mean, obviously we all do, you know. But new tornado warning now going up through Volland, Alma, McFarland. Pretty significant. Uh, I mean, really, it's very, very, very impressive for Kansas in March. Kansas in March here. Um, it's hard to tell really if I mean I think we skirted just by Volland. I think Volland is all right. It's one of those really big circulations I imagine with intermittent suction vortices that you really got to worry at. Oh man, there's an area right there. Oh, that it probably went directly over. It's like a warehouse of some sort. Um, yeah, we are really close to the radar, man. This is pretty incredible radar imagery. I mean, I mean, that's unbelievable. That's unbelievable. That's insane, dude. That is really insane. I mean, I hope everybody's all right. I hope everybody's all right. I mean, we were over pretty much rural land, but I would be really interested to see what kind of contextual damage we were dealing with here as the tornado was out here in the fields. I'd really be interested to see what it was doing out there. This is something to watch as well. Up near Maple Hill, this storm here, I'd watch Maple Hill. But man, I'm intrigued. And the Kansas City storm that I'll look at on my phone. Storm fired in northeast Oklahoma. Okay, but is it able to, man? Oh, wow! It actually is. It's sustaining. Wow, explosive initiation in northeast Oklahoma. Damn. Okay, looks to be some explosive initiation in northeast Oklahoma. It looks like the conditional threat in northeast Oklahoma may pan out. So this is a thing. We're gonna have to. I'm gonna go up here. Oh, I'm gonna go up more. Wow. I mean, it's hard to look this high, or we're looking way too high up. But I mean, so this thing is gonna right around here. Okay, right around here, right in this area. There's going to be a new meso. It's going to pop its face out, and it's going to do probably the exact same thing. We're going to have a tornado, and it's going to probably what it's going to do is it's going to be deviant. So it's probably going to cycle, and it's probably going to fly near the Alma direction or really close to KTWX, and that's something you got to watch out for. Not only that, but you have to watch out for this storm because this could also do it. But this is the most concerning. Other than that, though, we also have the storm that explosively initiated in northeast Oklahoma. It's doing it. It's doing it. Will it survive all the dry air entrainment? That's certainly a good question, but it's going to be completely discrete, and it's going to be heading around. Look at the donut hole. Okay, new meso right here. You can see the development of the new mesocyclone here. We're going to see a new hook come out of this thing. Cyclic, violent tornadoes. We're probably going to see another tornado of the same intensity come out of this thing. The exact same intensity is going to spit out of this thing, okay? It's the same storm, same environment, okay? It's going to do it. Really watch out here. That looks really tight, yeah. God, watch out for this. It's going to be a tornado fest up here. I mean, a serious tornado fest. Again, Maple Hill. Watch out Maple Hill, too. Still keeping an eye on the storm in northeast Oklahoma as well, just to see if it's going to survive that dry air entrainment. Because if it does, we're in for the exact same thing in Oklahoma as well. We're in northeast Oklahoma, southeast Texas. We're going to be also talking about another supercell down there that has access to some of the same environmental ingredients that are going to continue this. So, again, wow, okay. Um, wow, man. CC's very messy. It's because we're so close. But you can trust when you see a donut hole like that. When you see, I mean, oh my good lord. Um, but new meso to watch out for. There's going to be a new mesocycle. There is a new mesocyclone aloft here. And what's going to happen is we're going to transfer this to the ground, and we're going to have another tornado that's going to pop out, probably west of Eskridge, just a little east of Volland, and go kind of near the same area here. So east, like just east of the current polygon, there's probably going to be a new one. I mean, it's not gonna stop. But I would watch. I would watch. Yeah, this is really impressive. All you need is one, man. All you need is one. I mean, that's the lesson here. Is when you have something like this in this kind of environment, all you need is one, and it can go 0 to 100 really, really quick. Next radar scans show a little more robust development of that. Yep, that new meso right here. We can see it curving in a little bit. This thing is going to be a cyclic beast, brother. It is going to continue to do this. Like, I cannot stress that enough. It is going to continue to do that. Like I pointed out back here, there's gonna be a new meso that's gonna pop up, and boom, there we go. There is a new meso. There is a new meso coming out of this thing. 4-inch hail was reported. Where was that reported at? Threat for KTWX. I mean, I guess it would be. I mean, it's gonna be a really close call, if anything. I mean, we're gonna go really close to that. But really watch out, because again, there is a new cycle literally right here. It's about to spit out another violent tornado. Again, if you have just arrived just earlier, there was a violent tornado on the ground south of Volland that went up, is occluding, and we have a new cycle. A new cycle here. PDS severe thunderstorm warning for Kansas City as well. Yeah, I saw that. The one near Tulsa, again, it looks like it's struggling a little bit, but it's doing it. It's sustaining. It's somehow, it's surviving that dry air entrainment. Really struggling in Kansas City right now, though. I mean, seriously, just hope that thing doesn't organize, because we already got enough on our hands here with this guy right here. Because I mean, that's a big time hailer, regardless though. Regardless of anything, um, tornado wise, I mean that is still a really big issue hail wise, but not as big as obviously the likely incoming intense to significant to violent tornado that's about to come out. Um, I mean, seriously, like literally right in this region, right here, that new mezzo, and that we're gonna have a tornado that's gonna do the same thing. It's probably gonna take uh, a northwest jog there, and it's gonna go really close to the radar. And Alma's really got to watch out with that as well. But it's just gonna continue. It's just gonna continue. Just gonna keep going. I mean, look at that. I mean, we're getting really defined here. We're getting really defined here. Man, there's a lot of people who scored today, man. There's a lot of people who scored today. Like in terms of tornadoes, like in chasing, dude. There's people who got that shit, man. But that initiating supercell near Tulsa, man, really explosive initiation. It happened. We did initiate in northeast Oklahoma. So seriously, just keep watching. Keep watching that one. Keep watching down there. Because that thing's going to go up. And, I mean, it's still got quite a bit of time to mature, especially in this kind of environment where it does have a lot of dry air to fight off. But it's going to be in a fairly populated area, given we're going to be near Tulsa. But after we move past that Tulsa area, we're going to be all right. I mean, but we are getting so close to that radar right there. This is incredibly impressive. I mean, that is a really, really impressive shot there. I mean, there are some people who saw some beautiful, beautiful tornadoes. Yeah, at White Maple Hill. Look at that, dude. With that merger coming in. Look at that. Watch the merger. Watch the merger. The merger. That forward flank merger right there. That forward flank merger right there near Maple Hill, brother. Oh, God. All right, watch the Maple Hill storm that's going to take in this merger as well. And then this guy, too. Tilt 5.1. Damn. A loft that's ready. We just have to we're going to once we translate this to the surface, I mean, we could have same problem, man. And that would be really bad. If we have two, even just two of these semi-discrete supercells keep producing like this, and the warm front isn't far, okay? But even in the next 30 minutes, that is super problematic. I mean, super problematic. Oh, yeah, dude. Oh, my good lord. Okay. Maple Hill. Maple Hill. We have minutes, okay? We have mere minutes before it's go time for Maple Hill as well. We're about to really have a localized tornado outbreak here near Maple Hill. Not near Maple Hill, in Kansas, near west of Topeka, this area. We're really about to see that happen, okay? Really about to see that happen. Watch out for the Maple Hill storm. Seriously. Seriously. Look at this. I mean, we have to really be, and again, if you know anybody that's out here, like if you could know anybody in this region, you know what I mean? You could truly really help people out if you know anybody, and you can. I mean, the odds are really slim that anybody would know anybody out here, but I just have to say that for my health. You know, this is serious because we have another developing SIG tour. Looks scary on .5, yeah. Yeah, This guy here. I mean, we there's a couple areas that really need to be watched. These two really robust, I mean, incredible supercells here that are just spitting out these just. I mean, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. But there is a ton of streamwise vorticity. Mic warning. Are we? Mic warning. Okay. I don't know if you guys heard what I said, but genuinely, there is a ton. In the environment's perfect. That's all that to say. The environment here is perfect. The storm near Tulsa, again, it's I mean it's growing, man. I mean it's got some stuff to fight off, but it's something to watch. Maple Hill is not. Thank God. Too insane. Um, but man, all right, got to keep watching Maple Hill here. Keep watching Maple Hill. Next scan coming in, dude. And obviously, as we wrap up, like very uncomfortably close to KTWX here, as we wrap up, really, really uncomfortably close. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, yeah, we're getting there, man. There is very little time left. There really is. There is very, very little time left. What color table is this? Which one? Velocity or reflectivity? Reflectivity. I'll send it to you. Or it's actually in chat somewhere. Do not look at tilt 2.4. I'll just click it just to go. Oh man, dude. I mean, we really don't have. Once this translates to the ground, and it will, there's nothing to stop it. I don't know. This is a perfect environment. It's amazing out here. Like in this little area, it's beautiful. So that's just what we have to watch out for, man. These things are just gonna keep doing it. It's gonna keep doing it, man. Yeah, no predictions in qual. I keep seeing that. I predict a PDS tour. Thanks, bro. We can all see that that's happening. We don't need any of that extra. You're not immediate. You have no idea what. We don't need. I predict a PDS tour. That doesn't even make sense. You don't even know what you're talking about. Thank you. Please cut the shit. Honestly, we don't need the. We don't need the. We don't need the. But I predict a. I predict a wedge. Like, all right, dude. That's great. I just don't. I don't like to see that stuff in chat. It shouldn't be hard to act, normal. But, yeah, we do that as that merger came in, man. Look at that. Boop. Severe for Northeast Oklahoma storm. And again, after these cross the warm front, after we're done with these, okay, we have the Northeast Oklahoma storm to worry about. If that continues to grow robust, and in that, it looks like it's definitely fighting some dry air entrainment, obviously, just knowing how it is out there. But if the storms merge, because there's, a couple different updrafts, and we get going, dude, this is going to be the same. It's going to be the same deal. It's going to be the same deal down there. So again, has to be watched. And another thing is, risks are not made on purely the probability of seeing tornadoes. I don't know who said it, but I call bullshit on the 5%. That's not how these things work. It's per area. If you have, there's always technically a conditional SIGTOR threat with every significant severe weather event. That's just with any tornado event, you have the conditionality of a strong tornado, just because that's just how shit works. You could have a merger on a random day that spits out a strong tornado. We saw that in Wisconsin on February 8th, okay? There's always the conditionality there. They can't 10 hatch everything because of that. And it's based on coverage. If you only have 2 or 3 supercells that may produce tornadoes within a huge several hundred mile radius, you can't throw a 10 tor on that. There's not enough tornadoes that will be in that area to justify that. A 5% is perfect. A 5% is perfect. And there's also no way that you could guess this to happen, even with hindsight. This is obviously always on the table with these kind of events where you have such strong kinematics with just goofy instability. But they can't sit there at the SPC and be like, well, I'm going to imagine there's going to be 2 very robust semi-discrete supercells in Kansas. They're going to be cyclic and produce violent tornadoes. Who has that knowledge? The environment was there. Tornadoes were possible. And that's it. You know, it doesn't need to come... we don't need to trash the SPC. If it wasn't the SPC, most of you would have no idea that this was even going to happen today. I just want to say that because I think that, you know, I just don't like the trashing on the SPC. I don't like the trashing on the Weather Service. I don't like any of that stuff because I mean they're killing it right now, bro. I mean this is a fantastic forecast. But seriously, Maple Hill still. I mean, just some unbelievable pictures. Again, I'm retweeting them. And okay, there's some pictures from the storm now in Oklahoma. It absolutely is fighting off the dry air. I can just tell looking at it. But it is supercellular, and we're doing it. We're doing it. I'm gonna keep watching that because that almost has. I mean, that has a very similar ceiling. We're realizing here the ceiling right now. We're realizing the ceiling of this event. And I mean, we're totally in the dark here. But I'd watch. There's probably a tornado imminent right here as well. I mean, these are going to ride up right next to each other, dude. This is nuts. This is nuts. Oh wow, whoa, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. Look at that. That's probably a tornado on the ground. Up near Rossville, look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's probably a tornado on the ground. And there we go. I mean, it's just gonna keep happening. It's going to keep happening. We're gonna keep spinning this out. But this is probably a tornado on the ground. In the next scan, we're probably gonna see the exact same thing happen. We're probably going to see the next scan is probably also going to be nuts. That's just the nature of these storms. These things are going to be cyclic and dance next to each other. So we could see a couple more tornadoes here. I mean, but man, there is probably a tornado on the ground. No CC, but I mean that is a very easy go on that one. So Rossville, seriously, Rossville, the area is west of Rossville, and it's gonna south of Delia too, because these things are gonna occlude. By the way, incredible polygon placement because the polygons are wide. They're very wide. They take in account the occlusion. They are taking the fact in that these things are occluding and that they are going to be cyclic deviant tornadoes. That's amazing. Okay, I'm glad they're doing that. But this thing, seriously, and this guy back here, once it moves away from the radar, we'll be able to better see. But these guys are just so impressive. But again, another strong tornado is imminent near Rossville. Probably on the ground. I would really not be surprised one bit. Oh man, dude. Brother. Yep, tornado is on the ground near Rossville. We got some spotter confirmation. There looks to be a cone on the ground, another cone on the ground. So there is another tornado on the ground near Rossville. Tornado on the ground. Look at that, brother. That is, again, another strong tornado. Another strong tornado. Near where? We're in Kansas. We're in northeast Kansas, right here, west of, or really right now, almost on top of Rossville, west of Grove, Kansas here. This is all happening just to the west of Topeka. It's all happening to the west of Topeka. So as this thing continues to organize, and just keep watching all these. Keep watching all of these. All right. And again, the storm in Oklahoma is growing. They need to delete. Oh, yeah, I bet all the little kids. It's probably insane. New MCD out here as well. Should Topeka residents take shelter? No, there's no reason for them to take shelter right now. There is no reason they should take shelter right now. Look at this, though. You can just see. I mean, they're just spinning out, man. Very, very impressive. I mean, that is definitely up there. That is definitely up there in some of the most impressive radar imagery I've seen in the last, year. I mean, that is super nuts. That is super nuts. Okay, and it is gone confirmed. Good thing it's gone confirmed here. It is now a confirmed tornado warning, as it should be. Very weird look to it. Very weird look to it, but there's still a tornado on the ground. Might be getting a little in it from this other storm's forward flank here. That cool air, that it's just getting some of that other supercell's cold pool, and it might not like that very much. So might attribute that to its slightly weird structure here. But I mean, my God, this is just. I mean, that is just stunning. That is just unbelievable. That's incredible. I mean, you don't see anything like that very often at all. Like probably once, twice, 3 times a year do you get certain radar images that are just so incredible, We're doglegging a little bit, but that could, I mean, easily. And I am still very much watching the Oklahoma storm on my phone like a hawk. Because, again, this same environment is there in Oklahoma. And the whole thing about Oklahoma was that if we have robust storm development, we could see something very similar. And that would be really problematic. And here we are dealing with that. So we're just going to have to watch all areas here. My aunt lives in Oklahoma. Where's she live at? Where at in Oklahoma? I mean, this went very, very close. Very, very close. Uncomfortably close call there. Oops. Spotted a report with confirmed tour. Yeah, I saw the picture of it. Saw a picture of it. I mean, this is really, really impressive. I mean, I'm just looking at all these tornado pictures on Twitter, and I mean, they're really incredible. I mean, this was a very, very impressive tornado, man. Really photogenic, huge white cone, man. I mean, that's all you could in the middle of nowhere. At least at peak intensity. Hopefully, it didn't hit anything. I mean, because that's just one of those tornadoes where if you get hit by it, it's just fucking. The new HRRR run came in. I'll look at it on my phone because I don't really want to pull it up right now. This is the middle of an event. I think if you pull up, I can't sit here in the middle of a regional tornado event and be like, oh, here's the well, that'd be irresponsible in terms of coverage. But I think I'm gonna target I mean, for anybody who's curious, tomorrow I think I might target central Indiana for a tornado threat. That looks really solid down there. Which would actually be a shorter drive, which I don't mind. I don't mind. Watch Northern Michigan produce, bro. Oh man, watch it. Let's check it down here. I mean, we are trying. Right down there, man. Wow. Really big, strong, broad circulation there. Volland was 100% impacted, according to the people in town, really. He was impacted. I mean, I could see how it would go to. I mean, it's a very small area. I see where it did go over. It could have been this little industrial-looking area part here. But in general, it's just kind of one of those census-designated areas. You know, it's just multiple houses and stuff like that. Like here, we'll go right on. I mean, person in another server confirmed it. Yeah, I wouldn't really take that with, I don't know. For Grove, yeah, we saw that. I mean, that there's probably a tornado in there somewhere, man. There's a picture of it, but we're starting to get in the dark now. But God, this guy right here, we're trying again, pumping out a new little storm there. So Maple Hill, the same areas, the exact same areas basically need to be watched. The exact same areas. I honestly don't like the way the Kansas City storm is looking right at this moment. There's a broad low-level meso in there, and it is fighting a lot of different storms. Look at that, man. Yeah, we're going to go near Maple Hill again. So Maple Hill is not out of here. Because we have the original supercell that produced this guy back here, wrapping up again to produce another likely significant tornado here that's going to go up near Maple Hill. And I mean, that is just pretty ridiculous in there. But again, violent tornado back here near Holland. I mean, just... God, man, you don't see that often at all. It's got me hypnotized here. And then we're gearing up to produce again in Maple Hill. So Maple Hill, watch out. Everything, I mean, wherever these things are going. Lots of elevated convection up here. Gosh, I'm so impressed with how this is panned out. I mean, really, very, very impressed. Very nuts environment, man. I'm going to go back to that storm near Tulsa just to see how that's doing. And gosh, I mean, it's struggling really hard to get really robust and big, but it's holding on. It's holding on. You're gonna make it out of the dry air. I mean, I don't know. It has to kind of. I mean, the dry line circulation was enough to get it going, and we're. I mean, we're certainly trying, man. I mean, it's really possible that we are. It looks to be more robust every scan. It's just gonna very slowly have to fight off all that dry air entrainment. Next scan probably gonna be more intense. Hopefully, this thing dog legs out, but I mean, no, it's not, dude. It just kind of looks like it's trying to go again. A little flatter, which I mean I always like, you know, as long as we can avoid another one of those, that would be great. That'd be really, really good. But the Oklahoma storm is yes, it is. I mean, it is really, really trying. It's really trying to get going. God, you know what I hate? I feel bad for any chaser that was around here that didn't target this. If I was like in Kansas City targeting this guy and this happened back here. Oh my god, imagine like waiting in Oklahoma, being like betting on Oklahoma dry line initiation and then seeing this. Oh, I'd throw up. No way. What and just an incredible look from the radar. I mean, it's so close to the radar too. I mean, that was just God, this is one of those that I'm going to be looking at for a few weeks, like just kind of awestruck over its look. It's so well. I mean, it looks. I mean, man, dude. I just keep watching your Maple Hill. Same thing. Concerned for those Oklahoma storms, though. I mean, I can't stop looking at them. God, that is pretty unbelievable. I just retweeted a video and I mean my God. God, that was such a big cone, man. Welcome to 2024. Dude. Welcome. God, I mean, I have to go back to this because this was just so crazy. So makes me worried about tomorrow. You know, tomorrow, God, I forgot about tomorrow too. I mean, we have an environment. I mean, it's not the same, obviously, but more storms and you know potentially a higher ceiling in terms of the tornado threat. I mean, what we have just seen is really hard to top, But when tomorrow is interesting. Tomorrow's interesting. We have a we have a destructive here, and then no tour possible really. But I mean, there's the tornado watch wording. Um, we can look on the HRRR real quick. I'll have my phone out, but I can look on the HRRR really really quick to see what tomorrow looks like. Um, okay, never mind. We gotta go back. Watch. We got. I mean, just stuff to watch, dude. Watch all of it. All of it. Look at it all. Okay, we got that running, and then we'll go to the HRRR. Take a look at what's in store for tomorrow. Um, First of all, we'll check that southern mode near the south central U.S. We'll just use SIGTOR parameter to. Okay, we'll use SIGTOR parameter there just to kind of give an illustration. We'll use the SIMREF just to kind of look. And, wow, I mean, initial storm initiation looks pretty aggressive here along in Oklahoma. Honestly, a little more linear than previously anticipated, but we definitely have an initial discrete mode. And then some prefrontal supercells we'd have to worry about. We'll see what kind of environment they're in, and it's a good one. Really good environment, really high-end cape here, 3,000, 2,000. Enough low-level shear to get it done. Great for, it looks good down there. And then we'll move up to that more northern portion of the risk in the Midwest. And this is where it gets a little more iffy because we have that big morning squall that comes through. I mean, man, there's some potential there, though. We'll just have to watch, man. I think that there is some tornado potential that should develop. HRRR showing a discrete. No, that's not really anything of interest. How about central Indiana, just to get a look at the environment? And yeah, I mean, that could do it. I mean, that will get tornadoes done, especially with I mean, this is definitely a skinnier cape profile, definitely more low end than today. We won't see any pretty crazy stuff, I don't think. But just gotta watch it, man. Just really, really have to watch it. The one thing about the northern mode that's a little iffy is the morning squall comes in and pushes that warm front really far south. So we'll just have to see. But it looks like we're able to retreat or come up somewhere near central Indiana. So honestly, I think that might somewhat be the play. I don't know too much about central Illinois, if I'm going to be honest, just because there looks not enough convection in that area. I don't think so. And again, in terms of a tornado threat, not impressive down there. But in more central Indiana, I think this is really contaminated. You can barely see anything there. I'll do it that's in convection. But yeah, I mean, we still have a good environment for tornadoes. Cape profiles are a little skinnier than I'd want them to be. But definitely a good to just get out there. We'll see how tomorrow pans out, though. That's for sure. That is for sure. Because we come into not a I mean, initially that doesn't look very good, but we'll just have to see. And if there's an absence or a less morning convection that's you know than what was forecasted, then we'll have to watch that as well. Did M pass? We'll see what it wants in terms of convection, because this seems to have done pretty well. God, man, and there really seems to be a signal there for central-ish Indiana along that warm front that gets set up there. I mean, that really could be a play. We'll use the M pass HN, because these actually have done a pretty fantastic job. Not much of initiation there from the M pass HN. We'll use the HT here. Lots of these different. But yeah, I think Central Indiana might be the play for tomorrow, and we'll just see. The NAM, I think the NAM is going a little wonky. I don't know what the NAM really wants to do right now. I'll check number one. I'll check back on these. That guy's doglegging really hard. Look at that. I mean, that is a massive hail producer, no doubt. Our tornado threat might be coming down a little bit as these things are beginning to really cross into that. Looks like they're actually on the warm front. I think the warm front. I think they've crossed the warm front. I think we're about done here with this tornado threat, which is, I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, the wow. I mean, just amazing. I'm so happy for all those chasers out there. I mean, there's somebody that I followed that I know hasn't. God, Reed has an incredible shot. I just retweeted it, and Reed just has an absolutely unbelievable shot of this giant cone. Amazing tornado, man. Amazing tornado. God, dude, amazing. But there's some chasers that I know that haven't seen their first tornado yet, or people, that... And man... Did they kill it today, dude? Did they kill it? What a first tornado to get. You know what I mean? What a first tornado. That is just amazing. The mizzo on that thing is crazy. We'll see about tomorrow. I honestly think Central Indiana might end up being the play. Obviously that morning convection, and then that signal for just warm frontal. Obviously the NAM's a little more iffy, but we'll look at STP from the NAM just to kind of see. And wow, I mean, it's really hot on I think Central Indiana probably is the play. Right up in the warm front here near Illinois, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this environment being there at all. I'm not even sure what it's really doing, to be totally honest with you. It doesn't even look like there'll be anything. I don't know, but I do buy it more in Central Indiana, because that's where the models are a little more down on there being the warm front being there, which I mean, I'll see what the NAM does with the moisture here, because it's almost as if the NAM doesn't even. I mean, yeah, I don't. That's a little too much. I mean, so. But I'll go back down to those storms near the storms in Tulsa and northeast Oklahoma right now. They're just kind of north of Tulsa. And man, they're really, really struggling. We have a left split, though. We have a pretty impressive looking left split as well. That's really nice left split. But these guys in Oklahoma are really, really, really struggling. It'd be really good not to realize our full tornado potential there, because that would just be this, but pretty much nonstop, because it has much more real estate to work with. My cousin lives in Tulsa. Man, they're all right. It's just north of Tulsa. These are just general thunderstorms right now. They're not even in severe limits right now. I mean, they're really struggling because there's a lot of dry air as well. These are just general thunderstorms, something they'll go through every day in the summer or spring. Nothing that's imminently concerning. But the issue is, if they were able to sustain, we'd be dealing with this issue, but they're not right now. And it looks like they won't be able to. Because they've had enough time, and the environment is just not that supportive. There's so much dry air aloft, there's so much capping to deal with, that it's just really hard for these things to get rooted and keep going. So yeah, I'm really, really, really impressed with how today has panned out. I would love to have like some Dow on that tornado, man. So there was at least 3 tornadoes apparently. It might have just been the different morphology of the same tornado. Aaron J. Jack has another just unbelievable video from this tornado, man. That is just so amazing. I mean, there's a lot of times, dude, where these are just. I mean, man, that just so impressive. So impressive, man. I almost wish I went out there. No hotel to go to, but damn, dude. See you, pretty ASMR. Thank you for joining in here. But those storms in Oklahoma are really, really struggling. And as to be expected. You know what I mean? The eyes now are on tomorrow, you know, um, where the concerns are very much there. We still have this dry line in place, and it looks like the dry line fires. We have a very impressive Initially, we'll have quite a few discrete supercells out there, discrete or semi-discrete supercells. Initially, I don't like how very quickly we get messy, more linear. Um, but there's definitely a tornado threat there. Again, not as high though, because there's not a lot of low-level shear to work with. Maybe more northerly we would be talking. Yeah, a little farther north we have a little more low-level shear to work with. Extreme Cape profiles here. So giant hail. I mean, really just giant hail is in play here. And then Arkansas out there ahead of some of these storms. Again, the tornado threat is there. It's just not ideal. This is more of a high Cape type of event. But if you start seeing more profiles like this, more low level shear, more enlarged low level hodographs, there, more backed, enlarged low level hodos, similar to this. I mean, that's pretty streamwise as well in the lowest 1 kilometer, up to about 2 kilometers. That's almost purely streamwise. So, I mean, you'd have to really watch out for anything that could pop up in this environment. And it looks like there would be stuff prefrontally that would be in here, and that would be a concern as well. I think that, I mean, we could see the introduction of some higher tornado probabilities tomorrow. I think a 5% across, Indiana, Illinois could make sense to it. The central area where that warm front sits out, wherever that warm front ends up setting up, I think you would see the higher tornado probs there, and then you could honestly put a 10 hatch somewhere in Arkansas if this trend keeps continuing, and possibly up into Missouri, where the low level shear is not amazing, but at the same time, If you're able to get rooted, with such a robust updraft with such high capes, sometimes lower shear profiles can lower wind profiles can sometimes get it done. Weaker low level wind profiles sometimes go out the window when you have such higher capes, such high cape. You're able to stretch any surface vorticity, and it doesn't really matter if you don't have all the low level shear there. It's going to put down a tornado whether you think it is or not. You can think back to Matador just last year. Not saying that kind of thing is going to happen, but just in general that high cape low shear events happen, and there's sometimes where they do overperform or produce significant tornadoes, and that's something that you have to look out for. So we'll have to think about tomorrow. I think the real threat tomorrow is again down south, down in initially Oklahoma with a really just a giant hail threat here. Some attendant tornado threat there, and then as we move into Arkansas, where the tornado threat will probably maximize on in somewhere in Arkansas tomorrow. I mean, with profiles like that, it's really easy to get tornadoes done. And then again, central Indiana, I think probably is the play. Central Illinois, central Indiana. Just have to see again where that's going to set up, how we're going to trend. But there's that warm front that sits right there. We'll pull sounding just in between both, probably convectively a little contaminant. Not really. Not a lot of low-level shear to work with at all, but, new tour. See us trying again. Really struggling here because we're starting to... I think we are past the warm front here. So we're struggling. It looks like we might be struggling a bit, but these things still, Oklahoma is again also really, really struggling. There's some really large hail with, some large hail possible with those storms down there in Oklahoma, but they're not very impressive. The FV3, wow, look at the FV3 going nuts. Man, I didn't expect radar imagery like this today, though, man. I mean, that is stuff you don't see very often. God, I'm really impressed by that. Look at that, man. Whoa, okay, whoa, big time issue. Big time problem developing here near, that was really, by Hoyt right here, check that out. Boom. We're trying again near Hoyt, and that's one of those signatures that really... wow, that's one of those signatures where it's really like, there's not a lot of times where that doesn't produce. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of times where you see that and it's not. So we'll see if we can cut that inflow in there more because we're pushing out hard. Looks like we could have another tornado here, a potentially significant tornado here near Hoyt. I mean, just an absolutely astonishing tornado, though, man. Astonishing, man. I'm putting all this stuff in current events, but the tornado is unbelievable. I just retweeted it if you want to see it on Twitter, but God, that thing was beautiful, man. That's definitely a tornado of the year contender. There's going to probably be, there's obviously going to be a lot of tornadoes this year, but it went observed. So there's an observed tornado on the ground? Really? So again, there apparently a new confirmed tornado. On the ground. CC drop. Nope, nothing really visible. Doesn't look that crazy from here, but I can definitely see why there could be. Seeing the next scan there. Oh boy. Wow, that was really quick. Down near Alma too. In a single scan, we looked from generally unimpressive to west of Alma. I mean, okay. Okay, so we have to watch those as well. Good lord, man. Actually. Okay. Alma, please. West of Alma, almost. I mean, and still there's likely tornado on the ground near Hoyt, a reported tornado on the ground. I think that's... wait for that new velo scan, but that's really... Our hail is really... well, it hasn't changed much, but we'll see there. See this new velocity scan coming in, and again, I'm not totally impressed by the overall look here, but I don't have to be. There could still be a tornado on the ground. You know, you don't need crazy velocity signatures, or any sometimes for tornadoes to be ongoing. But God, I'd watch this guy west of Alma as well. I mean, there's some interesting stuff going on. Northwest Silver Lake, yeah, I see that. Kind of dog-legging out. We'll see what this is able to do. We'll see what goes on here. This looks like it's been struggling for a bit now. I mean, it certainly was impressing all of us back here, but it's been struggling. It looks to have gone 2 or 3 cycles here, and it's just been really hard for it to get going. Just keep watching all of these, man. Very quick merger fun time there. Interesting, there is a severe thunderstorm near Terre Haute, Indiana. Huh. And it's just kind of moving along there. And there looks to be, I think that's that. Yeah, there's some storms that might come in my area as well tonight. Especially with that morning convection. God, this is so weird. This doesn't feel like March at all. It doesn't really feel like March. With this kind of such a widespread, significant setup, you know. Doesn't feel like March at all. I'd be curious to see my current surface objects in my area. Probably non-zero cape and 40-degree dew points or so. Wow, okay. So, Hoyt, interesting. But man, west of Alma is really interesting. West of Alma is really, really interesting. I mean, it's trying. Yeah, about up to almost about 50 in my area, and in terms of instability, non-zero, non-zero instability, I'd assume. I feel like this could drop soon. Yeah, I mean it could. That's really impressive. This apparently there was a tornado confirmed on the ground back right about here, and could still be on the ground just based on this look here, but really close to the radar. And it doesn't look very impressive, but I mean totally trust that there would be one on the ground. West Alma's interesting though. I mean, this is an interesting look for sure. Storms in Oklahoma, I really don't think are going to do it. It looks like they're really being entrained out. Um, Struggling so bad, but there is a really, really nice left split right there. Very impressive hooking anticyclonic left split. Very, very impressive look. These things don't produce tornadoes, though. They're almost exclusively hail producers in the northern hemisphere. It's really hard to get these things to ever produce. Very rare that they've ever produced. So there's no real tornado threat with that. Just some large hail, because they are known to be quite large hail producers. And I'm almost wondering. Look at that eastward jog that it's taken. Moving more northeast, and then boom, we're bulging out. We're going straight east now. Left movers look weird, yeah. They're interesting looking. They're real weird. They're real weird. I'm gonna use the restroom real quick, and I'll be right back. I'm back. I'm back. What's going on here? How are we looking on this storm? Still, again, I just have to go back. I just have to go back. I mean, that is just nuts. Did you, Mr. Doctor Super Evil, did you see the storm earlier and its look on radar? I mean, my God. Tonight in Arkansas? No. Nope, you didn't. Rewind. Go back to about one. Go back an hour and 23 minutes exactly. Like, rewind it till you go back an hour and 23 minutes, and you're gonna poop. There was a violent tornado on the ground. Good fucking lord. Yeah, pretty. Seriously, an insane violent tornado. It's all over my Twitter as well. If you look on my Twitter, there is a ton of pictures. Huge cone. It was a big, very strong cone. Signature of the year so far, yeah, there's very little competition. I mean, even if, man, I mean, this is, brother, even if we see a lot of tornado outbreaks here this year, this is still an unbelievable radar presentation. I haven't seen anything this impressive since, oh god, dude, it's been forever. Storm in Tulsa is trying again. I mean, it is really struggling to get really robust in there. But again, like I said, if this is able to get robust, root through all that dry air, survive all the dry air entrainment, then we have the same type of tornado threat. But it's really not looking like it's able to do that. It is struggling really, really bad. Like 419, yeah, honestly, probably since then. 419, honestly, a lot of people were comparing it, and I honestly, some of the radar signals, obviously, like, just them being so insane, and like these just LP ridiculous tornadoes, man. I mean, that is just something. Huge rapid motion on those big mesos too. Meso almost on the ground, like huge circulation in general, and with just those intermittent suction vortices and giant horizontal vortex feeding into that meso there, probably strengthening it before it reportedly wedged out, and then obviously the humongous cone. I mean, it's so impressive. It's hard to even fathom it. Just a beautiful tornado. Chase wise, man. Wish I could be down there, man. Unfortunately, that is such a long ass drive. That is one long ass drive. How far is that? 10 hours. Yeah, Jesus, man. Would have been worth it though. If I knew this was gonna happen, oh dude. Pretty incredible. Pretty schnuts, man. I mean, really, that is so impressive. I think in general, our threat is starting to die down. Most of these storms are we're really starting to become big hailers more than anything. Um, but man, for about an hour, that was just nuts. That was just nuts. That storm in northeast Oklahoma, again, we're still trying, but nothing that crazy. Um, I think we'll cut it here because this is fairly. I think we're like our most robust tornado threat. I definitely could see another a tornado or two happen, but I think that just higher end tornado potential is really starting to go away now. But I'll be live later, no worries. But yeah, it's been real. I just got back from dinner and had to just I went live as fast as possible. Once I saw that one wrap up, I was like, dude, it's game on. So yeah, it's been real. I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Bye bye.